if I started my business in 2025, I'd do this and not what I did the first time. So quick story, how I actually started versus what I know now. So how I actually started my business is I use it as a side hustle. So, I make videos. It's where I started off, was just making videos. It was introduced to me by a friend, and he was doing it for, to help supplement his income. We were both car salespeople, and he built an amazing YouTube channel. He's been on our previous podcast before. His name is Edward Tomoloso, and it was bringing him leads. And he said, we were both artistic kids when we grew up, so we've known each other for a long time. And so, I kind of started off as a side hustle. And what I would do differently this time is I would have quit my job sooner, because the real growth came from when I quit my job, because my feet were to the fire. And one thing that I have learned, and this is very hard, it's a very hard decision to make, especially, depending on how much responsibilities you have. But I truly feel like the only way you'll be successful at a high level is if you put your feet to the fire. And maybe you don't need to quit your job. Maybe you're just someone that's good at that. But for me personally, I had to quit my job. I did RP3 Productions on the side for 2 years, and did a good job and kind of did videos here and there. But I didn't really excel and start kicking ass until I quit my job, because then it was freaking on. I had no money coming in. I had to feed my kid. I mean, there was just so many stresses, so many different things that made me treat this like a job. And that's another thing. It's like, you need to treat this as a job. Like, I woke up every day. I buttoned up my shirt. I put on my dress pants, put on my dress socks, and put on my dress shoes. I don't dress like that now, but I did then. I treated it like a job. I woke up every morning, got dressed, went out and prospected, and I made it happen. It was very hard to do, but I feel like for me, I needed that stress in order to make this happen. And so what I would do now is I would quit my job faster. Next thing is pick a niche and define your customer. So sometimes it's, we want to start a business, but we don't know what. You need to pick something that, I would say personally, something that you're good at, something that you're passionate about, because it is going to get hard, and you need to fight through those problems. It's going to get hard. You're not going to have any money. You're going to doubt yourself. I doubt myself. I doubt myself today, to be, as a matter of fact. So you will doubt yourself. So you need to do something that you're passionate about, that you want to succeed at. Or maybe it's just that you want to succeed at being an entrepreneur. Maybe that is your passion. But whatever you do every day, you have to like it. So you have to pick what that is and stick to that. And then you need to find a customer for that. Create a customer in your mind. Like for me, for instance, I'm going to make videos, and I'm going to do it for social media, and I'm going to do it for car dealerships, because I came from a dealership world. So I knew about that business, and I felt like this would be the easiest transition for me. And I knew people in the business. So I thought at that time it would be super easy. Obviously found out, this is 2017, that not everybody thought that social media was important. And, but I still grinded it. But I would say pick a niche, pick a customer. That's it. You don't need to be jumping different around. I mean, you see people, they're not even successful with one business, and they're already moving on to a different business. It's like, you got to grind it out. You got to push through. And I truly think if you focus, you can make anything work. You just got to focus. You got to make it happen, and you got to bring value to the customers. If you don't bring value, they will not do business. People have money in their pockets. Maybe some people have more than others, but people have money, and they will spend it with you if you can show them the value. Build a simple, clear brand. The logo you guys see now, the circle with the RP3 in the middle, I created that on some app on my phone at my desk when I was selling cars at Toyota in 2015. I literally don't even have like a legit version of it. Like it's not the nicest, but that's my logo. I came up with that. I personally don't like a lot of colors, so I thought black and white looked good. And that was basically it. So you got to have a clear vision of your brand, colors, and, a logo. Like, I would say you should probably start with that first, because that's your brand identity. Eventually you want someone to see that brand and think of RP3 Productions or whatever your business is, and not personally think of you. When you see the Coca-Cola logo or the Pepsi logo or whatever, I don't know who the freaking owner is. I just know when I see that logo or even the color scheme, sometimes like McDonald's, you start seeing red and yellow, you start thinking McDonald's. So, or red and white, you start thinking of In-N-Out. So you have to just pick a color scheme, a logo, and you want people to, I see those colors and see that logo and immediately think of what you do and who you are. And, you know, it's very, very important. I do have other variations of our logo, but I always stick to the OG circle with the RP3 in the middle. That's like the OG. I'll use other logos for other things like t-shirts and different stuff, but also we've been in business for, well, now total, if you look at when I created my logo, 10 years. So we can kind of switch it around and people always recognize the OG logo. And just, I think the RP3 part of it is like synonymous. I could probably do any different type of variation of our business logo, but if they see the R, the P, and the 3, they just know. So, you know, that's something else that you should consider. The next thing is hard, which is networking. The way I did it back then is, and you know what, even now, obviously we run a lot of people's social medias and we do get a lot of DMs from people saying like, hey, I do t-shirts, or hey, I do carpet cleaning, or hey, I do window cleaning, or hey, I do social media, I do videos, and they'll DM us. And let me tell you, most of the decision makers do not have access to their, not that they don't have access, but they never look at social media. So you're probably DMing the social media person's, their social media person. Basically, you're DMing their social media person, and that person's probably not going to care, you know, especially if you're saying, hey, I'll run your social, and their social media person's like, well, I'm the one doing it. They're not going to send that to the customer. I mean, you know, to their boss. They're gonna be like, heck no, I don't need any competition. So I think sometimes the best way is just doing it the old school way. You want to do business with a business, go, and especially in our area, the Central Coast, you know, we're a very small area, a lot of old school, you know, I guess not tactics, but, you know, just traditions that we have here is people still want to talk in person. So I would say, in the way we do it, because we still do prospect, we go, get in our car, we make flyers, we knock door to door, we introduce ourselves, we ask to speak to the manager or the boss, and we explain what we do. People want that personal connection. And for me, I would rather do business with somebody that took the time to come to my business and talk to me versus sending a DM. It just feels kind of lazy, not going to lie. Like you just copy and pasted and sent it out. I don't know. That's what I would think personally. I would just feel a lot better if somebody came into my business and talked to me and basically, you know, told us what they do and how they could help us. You're going to get a lot of gatekeepers. You're going to get a lot of, the boss is always going to tell the person, if somebody comes, just get their card, I'm busy. But you're going to run into that. But it's okay. You just got to keep going back. And if you go out for a few days, you will get somebody. In the beginning, it'll be hard to get this. But as soon as you can, use social proof to build credibility. If you do what I do and you've done videos for somebody, get a video made of them speaking about you and how good of a job you're doing and why they would recommend you, or even if you can get reviews, just anything you can do to show a customer why they should do business with you. You need social proof. At the beginning, it's gonna be kind of hard, so you will be doing things at a discount. You will be doing stuff for free. A lot of the times I would go shoot a video for a business for free, or be like, hey, I'm just gonna shoot a video. I'm gonna edit it, and if you like it, you can buy it from me. If not, then if you don't mind, can I use it to add to my portfolio? And they'd be like, of course. So I would do that a lot. You're risking it. It doesn't mean you're gonna make any money. You never know. But I would definitely do that kind of stuff until you can get some testimonials under your belt or get some reviews on Facebook, on Google. But yeah, so if I was to lose everything, that's exactly how I would build my business back in 2025.